It's got a horsey on it, which is relevant if you listen to the last episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a horse.
That's a jackass.
Yes. You take it away this time.
Okay, welcome to episode 74. Today is the 23rd of May, 2022, when this episode comes out. And we are doing a double up, which everybody likes to hear that this wasn't recorded the week of, but it was either no podcast or we recorded a last podcast and we get a little tuned up and then we record this one.
Yeah, that's the rules. We have stuck by since the very beginning of making sure an episode is out every Monday.
We may not have supplemental videos every week, but sometimes we do 2 a week. Sometimes we do 1. Sometimes we do none. But there will always be a podcast every Monday.
Sometimes we're just fucking busy, okay? And we're going somewhere this weekend. And then Matt has business to do elsewhere.
Yeah.
The following weekend, so we wouldn't be able to record. Suppose we could have tried recording remotely using...
Would have been a pain. I wouldn't be able to edit it in time.
It would have just been a mess.
So we're just going to do it here to make sure you get the utmost quality.
Yeah, so you're going to get something to listen to, and you're going to like it. And if you don't, you can drop off at about 7 minutes like you always do it.
That's not true, actually. Our stats have gotten a lot better.
Good.
Yeah, it's very good. We're impressed. We're happy. We're thank you. And it happens quite often that people I didn't know listen to the podcast will reach out and be like, hey, I was listening to the last episode, and
that happened today.
Thank you to people that are doing that.
And I will be more careful about what I say.
Same. Turns out my boss listens. So hello, Andy. Thank you for listening. Not Andy, my wife, but Andy, my boss.
DY, not DI.
Yeah, DY. This one's a man. My wife is a female, obviously.
Not that we have anything against that.
More than 75, whatever.
We got to stop walking on eggshells.
Yeah, and we're just going to be who we are. Yeah, I think you can know who we are.
Yeah.
So this time we can do the whole thing. So if you're listening on a podcast app, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
You can find us on Buzzsprout, Shopify, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, Android Podcast.
Yeah.
Listen, boy.
Stitcher. It's the only ones I can think of.
There's a lot. And this might be our last episode before we are part of the
Waypoint
family.
Yeah, the Waypoint Podcast Network. So
that's coming as well. And then if you're watching on YouTube, which thank you for watching us on YouTube. You get to see our faces, and sometimes we edit them differently. The audio version is pretty much just the audio, and the video version, sometimes I throw in little clips.
Entertaining.
Yeah, I just make some stuff, throw some stats up, some pictures, whatever. And then if you want to buy something from us, you can go to whiskeyandwhitetails.com and use code podcast. You can save 20% on just about everything in there. We're also discussing 20%.
20% off. Yeah. Okay. Code podcast.
Pretty good number. We're also discussing possibly some new merch, which we typically don't want to do, but we're going to do it. So if you wear a size outside of large and extra large, drop it in the comments because those are typically the only size shirts we buy. So if we're going to buy some shirts, we want to make sure we have everyone covered. And then we might have a code of the week this week, and we're going to make it T-shirt. So use T-shirt and say, yeah, I would buy a T-shirt, or no, I wouldn't buy a T-shirt, and throw it in the comments. And if you leave a review on one of the podcasting apps we already just talked about, leave a review and then just leave the review T-shirt. And then next episode, we're going to do our giveaway finally.
Yeah.
I've been compiling the names. It's taking time.
What T-shirt are we looking at doing? We've talked about several ideas.
So the one that we made for the other company, that shirt, but with
the new spin.
The new spin.
Nice.
Yep. And nice. I have a barrel shirt that I'm working on. Yeah.
That was the wrong button.
Yeah, that works too. Got a barrel shirt I'm working on.
Barrels.
I'm working on the shirts myself. I design them myself, and they take time because I'm not a graphic designer.
We're very proud of them.
It's I try.
Here at Whiskey and Whitetails.
I try to do what I can do. And then if you want to join even deeper, you like what you hear here, and you like some of the content that we have, it comes from a group of people that are patrons. And they are part of our Discord server.
Indeed.
And we have patrons that are not part of the Discord server, and they're missing out on a lot, but we still appreciate you being part of the community. And I need to get better at sending updates through Patreon. Most everything happens in the Discord server, so I don't think.
Yeah, lots of updates in the Discord server, and it's we're sorry, but we forget that there's others,
and we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate all of you.
You should hop in the Discord every once in a while.
hop in, shoot us a note, join the conversation. There's lots going on.
In there.
We have basically
the thing goes all day.
Here's the thing. Here's one thing I've figured out is a lot of people don't understand what Discord is. So imagine a giant group text, right, with everybody that's involved, but there are themes or subjects for the different texts. So you can jump to a different conversation, if you will, and they're broken out by individual or specific context. So we have a main chat where you can just kind of BS about whatever. But then if you want to talk about specifically cigars, we have the smoking lounge. If you want to talk about
memes,
if you want to post a meme, that way we don't, end up with a main feed that's full of just pictures. You can just go post memes and then people laugh. And
you have something you want to buy. And there's people all over this country that are helping us find stuff that most people can't find. We have a want to buy thread. We have a cost plus shipping. We do not allow secondary sales. You can post them in there for secondary, like in a thread thing, but to post it for sale in there, we do not allow that. It's cost plus shipping. Actually, we don't do any of that because that would be illegal. So never mind. But then
we thought about it and decided it was illegal.
We decided we can't do that, so we don't. And there's never ever opportunities to buy stuff that other people can't buy.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen either.
But they get early drops on things like samples when we send out, which we don't send out samples, but when if we were to, there's early drops on those. And then we have group therapy first Thursday of every month.
Yeah. First Thursday of every month.
So Discord, you go to the App Store and you download Discord, and then that's it. You join the server. And if you can't figure it out and you're a Patreon member, message us, and then we'll
help you figure it out.
Try to fix it.
It's a come and go as you please. Like when you have some time, you can get in there and chat. You don't have to be obligated. We're all busy. There's times where it's really quiet most of the day because we're all adults and we got shit going on.
And then bottles start popping.
That's right. And then before you know it, it's 8:00 and I have to turn off notifications.
Yeah. And it's like when I'm editing, it's fun because it keeps me entertained while I'm editing because most of editing is exporting and importing, and it just takes a long time, forever. Yeah. So to sit there on my computer and I got to wait 10 minutes for this export to go, and I can hop in there and chat and catch up. And last episode, we drank this Jack Daniel's Bonded, which I think I'm a very big fan of. But
it's a good whiskey.
I want to go with something else now. Let's do that Chestnut Farms. Is that what you were thinking?
It's what I had before you got here.
Is it?
Good choice.
Well, you can grab something else.
No, it's good.
I haven't had this in a while. I'm going to get a freshie.
Bringing this home?
Nah, we'll leave it here.
Fine, then I am. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, if that's the choice, I'll take it. Here's your freshie. Chestnut Farms is a fun one if you never had it. It's too expensive to be like a daily pour. It's around $100 for the bottle and bomb one. But if you notice the bottle shape, it is basically exactly the same shape bottle as Colonel Taylor. And side-by-side comparison, which we've done before in the past, it tastes pretty much the exact same. And it's from the same distillery. So, well, I mean, it says that it's from Clear Spring Distilling in Frankfurt, but
if you read between the lines,
it's Colonel Taylor.
Read between the labels.
It's too expensive to replace Colonel Taylor, but if you can't find Colonel Taylor,
right,
and you're like, I would spend $100 on a bottle right now, go to Total Wine and get you this Bottle and Bond. They have two different ones.
Yeah, Bottle and Bond is key. It's got a horsey on it, which is relevant if you listen to the last episode.
Yeah.
That's not a horse.
That's a jackass.
Yes. I don't need this today.
Yeah, I guess I need it for the fact, but whatever.
It's fine.
We'll get there. Actually, I don't need it because I can just pick it back up. So I went in the last episode, for those that have been waited all week to hear the story. My wife and I watched the UFC fights on Saturday after watching the Kentucky Derby. So it was a very fun weekend. So as you know, I love UFC fights. Usually, we are so entertained that we are just locked into the fights. And then like I'll talk through it, kind of like, which is funny because I'll talk through it, and as I'm talking through it, when I'm done, Joe Rogan will say exactly what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically a UFC fight commentator. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and we're watching the two females lightweight, or the featherweight, the strawweight that they had, and it was the worst fight I have ever seen.
Boring.
it was just so bad. Like neither of them wanted to lose, but neither of them wanted to win enough to counter losing. So it was terrible. And then it was terrible. So as we're talking, she was like, I want to learn how to fight. I'm like, okay, well, you don't, because it's at our age, you're going to get wrecked learning how to fight at this age. You may be fine with that. Go do it. But also like staff and MRSA and all these things that live in those gyms, like you're going to get it. And it's not like if you could pay for a one-on-one trainer, you don't have to worry about that. But then it's like, So I'm like, to be honest with you, I could teach you a couple of things that you could do that, it would, but the problem with it is if whether it's me teaching you or someone else teaching you, they're going to do it to you. So you know what it feels like, you know how to counter it, and you know how to do it and why you should do it. So I was teaching her about, so the sciatica is a nerve that runs all through the body, but it conjoins. It lives in a spot in your thigh. Uh-huh. And what we used to know as kids is dead legging. You ever been dead legged?
Yeah. A lot.
If you do it right, it will cripple you and you will drop. And so you will see a lot of leg kicks in UFC where they're trying to dead leg this person. And what people that have never had it done correctly don't realize is that it lasts for several days. It hurts tomorrow. It hurts more the second day. The third day, you're barely able to walk. And then after that, it starts to come back down. But you will feel it for a full week, which I explained to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to learn how to do it. Like, okay. So I grabbed her by the shoulders and I said, listen, this is where it's at. This is where I'm aiming. And I would normally do it with my hand because I'm deadly with my hand. I can aim and I can hit a lot harder. But I don't see the point in punishing you like that. So I'm going to do it with my knee, which means I may miss. And you'll know if I miss because you'll just be like, ow. But if I hit it, you will drop down and you will hurt. And she's like, okay, I'm ready. And I said, well, let me teach you this.
How much alcohol was involved at this point?
A lot. Neither of us were sober. We had watched the Kentucky Derby. We drank all day. We were at Baker's and Brewer, drank there, went to we had the market. So I had the market at the Jasper.
That's right.
I had a couple beers there, just 'cause, that's what you do at the market.
Yeah.
So I went to the Jasper or seasonal market. Then we went to Baker and Brewer, and then we went and watched the Derby, and then we came back to the house and we watched the prelims, the early prelims, the prelims, and then we were getting through the main card. So we were one fight away from the end of the night. So
wait,
we had been drinking
all day.
Yeah, it's probably midnight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think she would have been like. And I told her like 3 or 4 times. So I was like, if you knee up, what's going to happen? You always want to punch down. Like everybody knows the phrase punching down. It's because it's almost cheating. If you punch up, the only time that works is in a uppercut. You punch up, you're doing damage. But if I punch you straight in the face, boink, ow, right? But if I punch down, I am now raking my knuckles over your face, and that's a larger damage point. Same thing with the nose.
Right.
So in this leg kick, and I'm not for anyone listening that happens to be like a UFC fighter, I mean, that's not what I'm saying that I am. I brawled. I boxed for a while in high school and, street fights.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. So I was like, if you knee me, because she's going to do it to me as well. I was like, if you knee me, don't knee up, because all you're going to do is hit one spot and stop. Hit one spot and stop. I was like, but if you bring your leg out and bring it down, you will then rake the area with pretty good force before you start to slow down or you slide off.
Yeah.
So it gives you a larger hit place. Right? So I explained it to her. I was like, are you ready? She was like, yes. And so pow, and she drops to her knees. And I felt bad as her husband, right? But this isn't the first time we've played around like this. Like when she came to visit me in basic training, when I graduated, I was like, the first thing, as soon as we got to the hotel room, we were married. For those that are worried about that, as soon as we got to the hotel room, I was like, let me show you some moves I learned. And I was like, check out these combatives thing. Hey, what do you know? You're on your back and I'm on top of you. That's the thing. So we've but I've never hit my wife out of anger. I've never hit her at all. It's not an abusive relationship. This was something she wanted to learn. I told her, in order to learn this, you have to experience it, because I need you to know what you're doing to someone. Because there's a reason I've never done this to you. I've never done it to Marshall, Black Crest. I've never done it to any of these people.
Sure.
I'll let that go. And so somebody's gonna be mad about that. But so I was like, there's a reason I've never done this, because it's painful.
Because you have done it to someone and they're going to be mad because you don't.
No, because I said.
Who's going to be mad about that?
I don't know. People are weird. we said we weren't going to walk on eggshell, so that's it. That's what he goes by. It's
that's
his
what
name.
he doesn't bother him.
Yeah, it's his name. That's what he goes. That's what he introduces himself as.
Yeah.
So
fuck anybody else.
Yeah. So I've never done it to anyone. You never see me do it, and this is the reason why. I was like, because it's extremely painful. So she knew all this going into it, but she wanted to learn how to do it for self-defense.
Got it.
So I showed her, and then once she stood back up, I was like, your chance, and I'm going to teach you the same way I was taught. If you miss, I'm going to do it to you again. And I'm going to keep doing it until you get it, because that's how you learn. And then it becomes, you need to pay attention, because if I miss or I don't listen to him, then I'm going to get punished, and then
how long did this go on?
Only once more.
Nice.
But she kneed me up and hit me right in the knee, and I thought she broke my knee. Because she first hit me, and she was like, eh. And I was like, Andy, I need you to hit me as hard as you can.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
And so she did, and she hit me in the knee, which hurt. And I thought she broke my knee. I felt the kneecap move, but because I am who I am, and I'm the strong one in this position, I was like, okay, that was close, but you missed by like a good 6 inches, and you need up. You're not listening to me. Whoop-pow! And she drops to her knees again. And I feel a little bad because now that's twice. But in all reality, it doesn't matter how many times you get hit in that spot. The damage is done.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not going to compound. Now it'll hurt for 10 days. No, it's still going to be the same 5-day pain.
Yeah.
So she got up and she did it again. And she's smaller, and it didn't drop me because I've been hit there many a times. So, but she hit me correctly, and I said, "That's exactly whatever you just did is exactly where you need to hit." And I have, I don't bruise.
Yeah.
For instance, the motorcycle thing, still really no bruise. I have a huge welt on my thigh.
Yeah.
From where, because it pissed her off, and she hit me, and I was like, "You need to get angry, you need to get mad." And so I recommend if you're drinking with your wife and she's worried about self-defense and wants to learn how to fight, and you don't want her to go get staph infection at a nasty place and waste money where the first time they just teach her how to jab. Do that.
I think I would just pay to let her go somewhere and get staff and roll around with other people. Yeah.
Because then you got to take her to the hospital and all this.
She can drive.
Would Jessica let you teach her that?
No.
Andy's still not
like
mad.
that.
She's not upset about it. She understands.
I don't know. I say no, but I don't know. She's a tough chick. She might be interested in that. I don't know.
This is all on her own.
Yeah.
I said, "Are you sure?" Like 1,000 times. She accepted all of it.
Yeah.
And there may be people who be like, "That's fucked up," but come try and touch my wife and see what happens.
See if you don't get some mad knees thrown your way, bro.
Yeah, come try and rob my wife and see what you see.
When's the next UFC?
2 weekends from now.
So 2 weekends. So in 3 weekends from now, we'll hear how they covered elbows.
Yeah. No, I would never do that.
Coming here with a broken nose.
See, I would never do that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, that's the thing too. It's like, this is muscle tissue. I don't mind damage. And plus it's not really, you don't have to hit it that hard. It's the nerve is it's the sciatic that's there. But I would never break a bone or punch
I
her in
wasn't
the face.
suggesting that.
I keep all of her bruises short sleeves and shorts. You can't see them.
Like a gentleman.
Yeah, like a gentleman. We actually discussed that the next day. I was like, what if this is just our thing where like we give each other bruises?
Just train and boxed and beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, knee to elbows. We just go to town. And she was like, I don't think so. But she woke up the next day and was like, I hurt a lot. I was like, I know, so do I. I told you that you would. And we had to do brakes on her car.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I've been working on cars my whole life.
Yeah, when's the last time you did brakes and sat in that deep squatted position for a long period of time?
It took like 5 hours. I could not believe how long it took.
Yeah.
And lots of pain because getting up off the ground, you know, all day long. And then by the end, I was doing, she has a rear differential in her car. It's an all-wheel drive car. So I was doing the fluid in the back for the rear diff. And it's called a Halodex. I was doing the Halodex fluid. It's a Volkswagen. And I crawled under there and let the fluid out, and I went to get up to go I had new seals for the new pump, and I had to clean the filter off the Halodex pump. And as I got up, I looked at her and I was like, that's the last time I'm going to be able to stand up. I'm pretty sure. I'm getting old, man. It sucks.
Dude, tell me about it.
It sucks.
I injured my, I have so in my younger years of being young, dumb, and just full of
Dumb?
and testosterone. I was deadlifting, and in retrospect, now that I'm older and have learned more, if you go to any like massive, like you go to a big university, professional sports place, anywhere where they're training for performance but also longevity,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, nobody's doing deadlifts.
I'm sure.
Because of
Makes sense.
the amount of technique that has to go into ensuring that you don't hurt yourself and doing it properly.
Right.
For college athletes, pro athletes, people that are training to be for performance and longevity, it's just not a risk that we're taking. If they want to build those same muscles in their posterior chain and their back, they're doing things like hang cleans.
Yeah, that's what I was
Power
going to
cleans.
say. Or the thing where you lean forward and you hold a 45 and you just do up and downs.
Yeah, right.
Whatever that's
So
called.
GHD machines
Yeah.
or back extensions, things like
Back
that, right?
extensions, yeah.
So all that to say, I was pulling a lot of weight, and
Like 40 pounds.
like 405 is what it was. It was
Nice,
the
dude.
pull.
Nice.
And it was a weight that I had hit a couple of years before, but it sort of fallen off, and I wanted to hit that benchmark again. And at the gym, a bunch of guys, friends with me, we were lifting, and it was, getting each other all riled up. And I went into it with more adrenaline and I hurt my lower back. I herniated a disc in my lower back is what happened. It's an injury that I've been dealing with back and forth. And I say all that to say that I just woke up the other day, about a week and a half ago, and kind of like stretched like that. And I cracked my lower back. And until yesterday, had barely been able to sit up or stand up for a week and a half.
Yeah.
Could hardly pick up my kids. Like the first night after it happened, it was so bad. I sat in bed and I picked my right leg up, and then I started laughing. It was a combination of like laughing like this is funny, but also I'm a little bit terrified because it was so painful and I didn't have enough strength to pick up my left leg and put it in bed. I had to pick up my own leg and move it in bed. And Jessica looked at me and goes, "You are going to see a doctor."
Yeah.
Of course, I haven't seen a doctor because doctors are for
fine.
pussies.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna make it.
I'm gonna be fine. But in retrospect,
My great grandpa didn't see a doctor when he was carving out the applet.
but yeah, getting old sucks. And I told her, I said, since getting the injury, this has happened a couple of times where I tweak it, and after about 3 or 4 days, it's fine. It's been a week and a half, and yesterday and today are the first days where I've gone on about my day and not been thinking about it all day because of how much it hurt, where I've thought, oh, my back's not hurting right now.
Yeah.
It took a week and a half to get to that point, and I realized I'm getting to a point where that tweak, when that happens, it's going to continue to be longer and longer, and I need to go get an MRI and actually see like what the damage is, and I'm hoping that like maybe physical therapy or something else can fix it. But
Probably.
there's
You probably just need to get your fat ass in the gym, bro.
there's also probably that. I'm sure carrying around an extra 40 pounds is not helping.
Every time, you know what's funny?
I just want to avoid surgery as long as possible.
I got on a scale and I looked at the number and I was like, I laugh now because it's so high. It's like I've never been this fat. Ever.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Me either.
But I'm working on it. I'll be going to the gym. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to go to the gym.
My brother-in-law has a home gym, nice home gym, like pull-up
Yeah, you talked
bar,
about that on here, that you go there now.
a rope. So the episode where I talked about starting to do that was the episode where I messed up my upper back and my neck. So other injury, shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I remember
I had
that.
that in high school. It's thrown off my whole, like my shoulder blade and my shoulder. So occasionally, once or twice a year, I will like wake up, I'll sleep wrong and I'll wake up and this whole muscle and everything will be all jacked up. And I can't move for a week. And I have to go to the doctor and get a steroid shot, a Toradol shot. And then I have to take like anti-inflammatories and muscle relaxers for like a week. So that happened like 3 weeks ago. And then as that was getting better, I was all full of piss and vinegar, and I woke up and it was like, I felt good. And I did that thing
Yeah.
So like for 3 weeks now, I've been nursing neck or back issues.
Well, you
It's
remember
just
when I
fucking
did
stupid.
mine? When I did mine?
Yes.
When I was going duck hunting, I reached down and picked up waders and slipped the disc right there.
Yeah.
I think it's probably been a long time coming, and I should have stretched more in the morning, but
that's the point I'm getting at is that I'm
That's would've
36
never
and I have to
happened.
wake up and consider stretching before I start my day.
I know.
It's bullshit. And it's because I'm not.
It's because I'm not working out. I know that's for me. So I'm going to get back into it. I'm not going to, I don't give a shit about deadlifting and dumbbell, barbell.
I have nobody to impress. I
don't care.
I just want to be able to like do shit with my kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna use cable machines and I'm gonna walk at an incline and that's just what I'm gonna do. Because you know what? It may seem like, 10 years ago, me in the gym and I watched the guy that uses cable machines and walks on an incline, I'm like, loser. But I didn't realize
that
I was
you
young.
in 10 years.
Yeah. I just like, now it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to me. The only reason I'm going to the gym is to better myself, and I do not care what anybody thinks about it. That's one of the reasons I left Gold's Gym. Gold's Gym was $29 a month. I'm now paying $60 a month to go somewhere else. But you know who's in my gym? People like me.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to go to Gold's Gym. Because every time you go in there, everybody walks around like, you pick up a machine. If I were to warm up with a bench press with just the bar, people in there would look at me and snicker. It's crazy.
Really?
Like we're all in there for the same thing to better ourselves.
Right.
But because of the mentality of people at the Gold's Gym, it's just different. Where I go to the gym I'm at now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The gym I'm at now.
Well, that's a long one. Sorry. 15 seconds long.
Yeah, it's a long clip. The gym I'm at now, most people do just the bar, and maybe 35. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
So
I'll do the bar and then go to 45s and go to plates on each side.
That's why I'm excited about going to my sister and brother-in-law.
Because nobody's going to
nobody there gives a shit except for the dog.
It's just you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hit him with a plug.
Plug.
It's time for the plug of the week.
Yeah.
Little flair to that.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Go ahead. Oh shit! I got the. That's the plug of the week.
Yeah.
I got the plug. That's right. The plug of the week is.
I knew what it was, but I was going to steal your thunder.
Camp Hero, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah. So we, if you haven't figured it out yet, we have two veteran organizations that are near and dear to our heart. That is the WLS Foundation and Camp Hero. By the time you're listening to this,
we had just got home. So today's Monday. So you had just got home yesterday, Sunday.
Well,
from Camp Hero.
No, because that's last week's episode.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So 2 weekends ago, we left on a Thursday and drove up to Kentucky.
Which is what we're doing this week. This week we're leaving on Thursday and driving to Kentucky. Just giving them why we're recording.
Oh right, yeah, that's why we're recording now. Is because we're going to Kentucky, and then from that Kentucky trip,
well, let's do what we're going to Kentucky for.
We are going to Kentucky for a work week or weekend
with Camp Hero.
With Camp Hero.
With Officer Rocco.
Rocco.
Bessignac. Aha.
Got it right. Yeah. And the goal of this is to do work. We're going there. We're going up there to trim trails, hang tree stands.
You got a new tractor that needs to be driven by me.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that need to happen while we're there, and that will have already happened while we were there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened while we were there. But we can't tell you what those things are yet.
Those things that needed to happen and that were planned to happen already happened.
Yes.
Which is the reason why we recorded this podcast, because after they happened, Matt had to go to Florida for work.
Yeah, you can catch me on tour, whiskeyandwhitetails.com/events. You can see what you're missing out on. While I'll be in Tampa, Florida all next week doing live spots from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Special Operations Forces Industry Conference.
Please tell us more. Anyways, so that's why this was being recorded ahead of time. We were there. That's why it's the plug of the week. We love WLS. We love Camp Hero and what Camp Hero does for veterans and first responders and underserved youth.
Yes.
And we went up there, brought my 15-year-old son along to get him
started
out of the damn house and
get
away
from the next generation.
That's
Give
right.
him something to look work for.
Giving him some exposure to some other opportunities for service, to give him an idea of what service looks like. On a serious note, in 2 weeks, so by the week that you're listening to this podcast, 2 days from now, he will be being awarded his Life Scout rank.
Nice.
So from this point going forward, he has basically, he needs to finish up some merit badges that are required, continue accumulating some service hours, and he needs to finish his Eagle project, and he will have completed Eagle Scout.
That's awesome.
If he can do that in the next year, he will have done that basically before the age of 17, which is
fantastic.
It's very impressive.
Most people, it's 18, right?
Right. Well, 18 is the cutoff, and a lot of people wait till the last minute. This will allow him to continue to be a part of the troop and serve, give back to the troop and the younger scouts. It'll also open up an opportunity for him to get into venture scouting, which is a more of a older high school, college age group, and they focus more on actual planning adventures, fundraising. So the way it's broken down is as they get through an Eagle project. The idea of an Eagle project is kind of like project management. They have to put together a plan, a budget, how they're going to execute it. They have to execute it. And then when they're done, they have to do a report on how they executed it, how it aligned with their plan, how the budget worked out, all that thing. Their job is not to actually do physically all the work themselves. Their job is to put a plan together and solicit help from their troop and adults and other volunteers to help execute it. It is legitimately a project management exercise. Venture scouting is a little bit older. They get into planning their high adventure stuff. So rock climbing, hiking, stuff like that, but they don't have the support, as much support from adults in that. So they have to do all the planning and fundraising themselves. So through that, they develop a number of life skills that are invaluable, especially when they get into the workplace. But by getting his Eagle Scout at an earlier age, it just opens him up to being able to do a lot more of that. And he's motivated by the fact that his grandpa offered him $1,000 if he gets it. So, which
is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money to a 16-year-old or 15 now.
Especially someone that needs a car.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. But yeah, camphero.com.
Camphero.com. The purpose of that is that service hours and service is important.
And what better place to put in service?
Yeah, going there
especially something that's true to us,
helping and providing some service to an organization and for a purpose that is important to both of us, but I think that he will find important as well. So it's sorry about my rant there, but actually I'm not sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It was a conversation.
It's a teachable.
I actually think I said it wrong.
It was a teaching or teachable moment, if you will, and I was excited about the opportunity.
It's campheroky.org.
It's right here.
No, I said it.
Is it right here?
Thanks.
Or maybe it's right here.
Now I got to do that. Campheroky.org. Campheroky.org. Yes, Gavin will learn. He will come out there and get different. But what's fun about it is that the scouts are everywhere. So if he wanted to organize an event at Camp Hero in the future with the scouts,
absolutely,
for like a cleanup to help Rocco out, that wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, if he decided for some reason that he wanted to do an Eagle project and he got it approved through the council to do his Eagle Scout project out there, whatever help he needed locally from, procuring funding or resources could be done locally. He could absolutely reach out to a local troop in Kentucky and solicit help for that and to make it happen if he wanted to. That would be cool. That's the cool thing about scouts. For example, we went on a canoe trip there. Well, they went on a canoe trip this past weekend. The council has canoes that are available, but the trailer that carries them is broken right now. So they just reached out to another troop in the area that's out in, I think, Mount Pleasant. They have
I bet they got a real nice trailer.
They have a trailer with a bunch of canoes.
Higher?
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe they fund. Maybe they sell more popcorn. I don't know.
They probably do.
But we just reached out and said, hey, our troop wants to go on do a thing. Can we borrow your stuff? And they're like, yeah, sure. Come check it out or come pick it up. Like that's I don't know. That's what scouting is about. It's cool. Man.
There's a lot of groups like that. Like we've discussed the Freemasonry.
The Freemasonry thing. There's a lot of those organizations.
And they don't rule the world. Who would have known?
Or do they?
Yeah, that's the Illuminati. It's the 33rd degree Mason.
How old's your grandma?
I don't remember because it's been so long since I went.
I thought about that today when we drove by a lodge and I saw the number. And I was like,
"You're selling secrets here. You can get shot for that." Probably not. Actually, the only people that would know that were people that know that. So
I didn't even finish saying it. So
yeah, I know.
there's
That's why I
nothing
cut
to
you
know.
off.
Anyways,
But you drove by one. You're like, "That's the number I'll remember."
that's an old grandma.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And that's code of the week. How old's your grandma? Put it down here. Just put a number of how old your grandma is, and we'll know what you're talking about. If it's like 78, then
do I need to move my family now?
Yeah, probably. They're coming for you. No, they're gonna get mad at me. They'll be like, "Yes, your responsibility." Yeah. What are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah, man. Remind me to tell you something later. Anyway, this episode is somewhat of a shit show.
Oh, we've been good. I think I'm holding it together.
Cut this out.
Welcome back, and it's time to do shot for shot with Gus Brown.
That would be very detrimental.
Yeah, I feel you there. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. We're doing that, and then I'm in Tampa for work.
Yep.
I'm back from Tampa at this point, so we just we didn't want to.
Welcome back.
We didn't want to think. We didn't want to be screwed up on getting the episodes out. So, but yeah, so this episode, the rest of it is just going to be kind of us hanging out and doing whatever the thing.
Have you been to Tampa before?
I have never been to Tampa, Florida. We're staying in St. Pete, which I'm excited because I like saying St. Pete.
Yeah.
And I also understand that's where Bubba the Love Sponge is.
Bubba the Love Sponge. Small doses, that guy.
Yeah, same.
Super small doses.
Yeah, he's all over the place. Every time because he's local here in the Charleston radio, and every time I hear him, I'm like, yeah. But what's funny is that he's paid as a syndicated radio show.
Yep.
But he also does crowdfunding where they have was it Twitch? They live stream on Twitch and people donate money. And then I just turn him on this morning on the way to work, which by the way, traffic today.
Bananas.
I feel your pain, Somerville people. But he's like, yeah, I got a Venmo account, which reminds me that we also have a Venmo account. And if you
just want to send us money.
If you want to send us some money, our Venmo account is at Venmo.
We don't have a Venmo account.
Yeah.
Because it's a monthly charge as a business now. It's dumb.
Well, you can do at Matt Green 1 and then I'll send it to Venmo.
But
to Whiskey Mike.
That's pretty smart because that actually opens him up to be able to do other types of content that he can't get away with on the radio.
Yeah, I know. And that's
fucking smart.
It is smart because he owns his own studio. So he had the people that work for him, he acquires them to do podcasts and other shows.
Yeah.
So his, whatever it's called,
What's he look like?
Bubba Army. Yeah, that's a good question.
I picture him
I'd
as
imagine he's fat.
I picture him as
Fatter than me.
a really fat, who's the guy that does the cooking shows with the spiked blonde hair?
Guy Fieri.
I picture him as a really fat redneck Guy Fieri.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let me look him up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it looks like. Let me see. Is it bad? Is he crazy looking?
It's not what I thought it was.
Oh, damn.
But he is fat.
Yeah. He sounds fat. That's what I think he would look like.
Yeah.
He looks like a fucking
Now it makes
DJ.
perfect sense.
Yeah. He looks like a cocky DJ that lives in Florida.
Like a 100% just.
I say this in love. I don't hate the guy. I think he's funny.
I don't hate him either. It's
just small doses though. I definitely can't listen to him every week. Yeah, if that's 100%, you send me that one. That's that's the image going up.
It says Getty Images on it. Whatever.
I don't care. Here, Getty image. I used it in our broadcast. Dude, I bought a new Sunto core, and I sent you the link.
Yeah, $124, bro.
Crazy.
It's not expensive anymore.
I know.
It's because they've upgraded.
They were $240, I think, for a long time.
It's because they've upgraded. Some of the new ones are fancy.
I saw, but I can't wear it where I work.
But it's hard for me to justify buying some of the other ones when we've beat the hell out of these,
dude,
and it's fine.
It's a stopwatch super old. The only reason I replaced it is the buttons don't work anymore. So next time the time changes, which I've heard that they're not going to do that anymore. Oh yeah, mine spins super free.
It's like,
did you see they have a blackout edition?
Yeah,
looks pretty sick.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
What?
What do you mean blackout edition?
So like all the letters and stuff, instead of being chrome, they're black. All the letters on the inside are like a gloss black instead of being white.
That's fancy.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm excited. So I got on them, but
I don't even use half of them anymore.
I don't use anything at all. I use the button to turn the light on in the middle of the night. So I go, oh, damn, it's not time. Because I wake up without fail every morning and go, shit. And then I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. We're good.
Yeah. You and Nolan would get along great. That kid wakes up every day.
I'm
like
convinced
clockwork
I'm
at
late.
5:30.
And I'm convinced I'm late to work.
Really?
Every day.
Have you been late that many times?
Today's the first time I've been late to work.
What's funny or what?
To be fair with you, I don't have a time. But
Right.
I like the 7 to 3. That's my schedule.
Yeah. Of course.
So if I'm not there at 7, if I'm there at 7:30, now I got to stay till 3:30 because I don't do lunch breaks and stuff.
So I'll give you a little insight to my day today. A typical day in the life of a guy that works. Do what I do. I'm able to work from home primarily. I have 3 kids. We have things going on. So I wake up at 5:30 this morning. I get up. If Jessica's listening to this, I know it was more closer to 6, but 5:30. She gets up at 5:30 with Nolan to get dressed, which is crazy that kindergartners and
Isn't that
elementary
insane?
start school at a time
Dude,
that requires these kids to get up at 5:30 in the morning.
What's
And
crazy to me is when I leave the work at 7, when I leave for work at 6, there are kids on
at
the bus stop. And I'm like,
the
what are
bus
you doing
stop.
at the bus stop at 6 in the morning?
Yeah, bro. When the house that I had in North Carolina, when I was in middle and high school, I had to catch the bus at 5:45
What?
because we were so rural. My bus ride every morning was an hour
That
long.
makes sense, yeah. You guys were out there.
It was wild. Anyways, so I got up this morning, right? I get some coffee. Was this this is the episode we were talking about the back injuries. I go down and sit in my chair downstairs, and I put my fucking heating pad on like an old man on my back, and I'm drinking my coffee, watching the news. Nolan, he's such an old soul. He likes and he's 6. Right? He has he has a way of doing things that he really likes. Gets up at 5:30, has his breakfast, Reese's Puffs. He gets dressed. He's already dressed. He gets his hair, combs his hair, sits down, and he likes to be done with all that by 6 o'clock.
Wow.
So that he can hang out on his iPad or his Switch and play games for
that
30
makes
minutes.
sense, yeah.
Right? And he gets really bummed if he doesn't have time for his, he calls his chill time.
Nice.
Right? And then they leave at 6:30, drive to get in the line for car ride or drop off, and he continues to hang out on his. So anyways, we're sitting there. She leaves with him to drop him off. I'm sitting downstairs watching the news. I hear Gavin get up. He gets into the shower for his typical hour-long shower. Every day I got to bang on the, don't jump to conclusions, but I got to bang on the door and be like, fucking wrap it up, bro. It's like, we got to go in for 20 minutes. In that process of sitting drinking my coffee, Jessica texts me and is like, I forgot Gavin has a doctor's appointment this morning. And he did. He had a doctor's appointment this morning at 8:15 in North Charleston. It's now 7 o'clock. If you know traffic, like
From where you are, yeah, good luck.
we got to leave by no later than 7:30 to make it.
Yeah.
Which at 2 in the afternoon takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes to do. It's a 45-minute drive. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll get Leah. Leah was already up, or my youngest, my daughter. She was up. I'll get her dressed. She's eating breakfast now. We'll do the thing. I realize, and I get to this point from your working thing. I don't ever have to go in the damn office, so it doesn't even cross my mind that yesterday I told my government customer that I would come into the office today. So as I'm freaking out about getting Gavin to a doctor's appointment on time, I realize, oh fuck, I got to get dressed and be to the office today. So at 7:30, I'm freaking out, getting in the shower, getting dressed, and then telling Jessica, hey, you're going to have to take him to his appointment. I have to get to the office.
Yeah.
And figuring out the coordination of all that.
Well, it's like when you texted me and you were like, oh, I'll be at work all day. And I was like, oh, weird. Because we talked at like 7:30 this morning or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, you came to the office today. But for me, it takes from my doorstep to the place I work, it's about 25 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Which it's about 20-ish miles away. So
Right.
It makes sense.
Sure.
But I know for you to go 10 miles, it's like 45 minutes because it's just the traffic that way is so terrible.
So terrible, man.
So this never happens to me. This morning, I left the house when I normally leave.
Yeah.
Coming over the connector, and as I'm coming around the bend in the connector where I can see downtown,
Yeah.
I look down there and I see 2 lanes of cars backed up like down the waterfront.
Yeah.
And that's usually the round I take. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to cut through the hospital today.
Yeah. Yeah.
the hospital line started at the top of that hill, which is probably a half a mile.
No.
So I was like, okay. So I got off on the connector and whooped around, and I was like, this line won't take long. I'm sitting there, it's like 25 minutes. Like, okay.
Is there an accident
It's got to
somewhere?
be, right?
Yeah.
So I tell the guy next to me, he's got his window down, and I was like, hey, buddy. And he like,
Uh-huh.
I was like, if you don't mind, next time the cars move, can I rip in front of you and I'm going to get back on the connector? And he was like, if you get on the connector, you can get in front of me. I was like, I promise you, I'm not going to cut you off. That's how angry everybody is, you know? So I get on the connector and I come back and I text the wife and I'm like, get ready. Because she hasn't left work yet.
Oh,
like,
no.
Get ready.
She's got to deal with that.
Because she has to go to Mount
and
Pleasant.
then deal with Mount
Yeah,
Pleasant.
so it's going to take her an hour to get to work, which is,
Just talking about this is making my anxiety.
I know, it's unbelievable how bad traffic is here. So I get off and I take 61. I get on 61. As soon as I get off the connector, standstill traffic. And I'm sitting there like, you know, it's going to be fine. And then this is the picture I sent Andy. I was like, so here's the day. Here it is. And I'll throw that up here for everybody to see too. So it's like a pretty gnarly accident, like two front ends smashed and everybody's standing around. But as soon as I pass that, wide open. I mean, I'm late to work, but luckily today, because we have meetings throughout the day. Every day, every morning we have a meeting that I run for like 15 minutes of the hour. And we didn't have one today because today was also our planning session. So we don't have meetings in the morning, whatever. Nobody cares.
Today's also Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday.
You said Monday.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't think I said a day.
You said every Monday.
Every day. Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
You have an hour meeting?
Every day from 8:15 to 9:15 or 9:10.
Oh.
And I usually turn it off at 9. Because the last 10 minutes, like program management people. Hear that, Andy? You hear that?
Is everybody just giving updates?
Yeah, it's called a morning stand-up. And because I'm the Scrum Master, which means I'm good at Scrum, Google Urban Dictionary Scrum. That's what I do for a living. Have you ever done that? Do you know what Scrum is on Urban Dictionary?
Yes.
Okay. Just make sure you know you're not lost in the joke. So, yeah, I do that for the team. But mine starts at 8:15, but the other teams are contingent on my team. So I stick around in case they need me for something. Because the one day that I don't is the day they'll need me. And they'll be like, where were you? Why did you just drop off? So I have to sit here.
I'll tell you why I dropped off. Because this is a giant waste of time.
Yeah, I could be doing stuff.
We could create a SharePoint site for weekly updates that everybody could post their daily update to.
Could.
You know what I mean? Like,
Could.
This could be an email. This could be
A lot of meetings I go to could be an email.
all of them almost could be.
When we're driving to Kentucky, by the way, I'm taking PTO, which is paid time off. I'm using that vacation time on the trip. However, Thursday, my product owner wants to have a conversation with me in the afternoon, so I have no choice but to do it. And I have to do it from the vehicle on the way to Kentucky.
Yeah. I'll have some PTO to take also.
Yeah. No, I'm actually... I'm
taking Friday off. Thursday is going to be a mixed bag of all kinds of things.
Well, I mean, we're working half the day anyway, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, but I can't, because I have to be in the office. I can't just not be there.
True. You know as well as I do, though, like 8 to noon is like the most productive time in government ever.
Oh, yeah. Nothing happens after noon.
After
unless
lunch?
it's 5. I've noticed 5 to 9 p.m. I get emails. It's so weird.
It's because everyone feels guilty for fucking off all day, and they get home
Probably.
and you're like, let me send some emails
Yeah.
so it looks like I was
busy.
here
all day, but in
so that I can charge
You know,
my
and
10
I'll
hours
respond.
so I can charge my 10 hours a day for my 50-hour work
That's
week
what they
and
do.
not feel guilty.
Yeah. And I'll respond at 6, 7 o'clock at night sometimes. And then people will be like, thanks for being proactive and taking care of company business at 7 p.m. at night. It's like,
You're right. I was sitting on my couch drinking whiskey and
I have no problem checking my email at 7 o'clock at night just to check, you know.
well,
Because sometimes I'm waiting on stuff and I need to, it's a signature. I need to sign something so it can move forward. And I don't want to be the reason it doesn't move forward.
well, it's also the anxiety of not knowing what's going on.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when there's a lot of stuff going back and forth, like
Yeah, I'm leaving at 3.
I left at
but
3
I
or
understand
4.
some people don't leave till 5.
Some people-
so I need to
some
check
people
it
work till
after
5 or 6, and it's just
some people work 10 to 5. You know what's funny is they see the people that work till 5 p.m. as though they are harder workers because they're there longer, but in reality they're not there
they just
longer.
got there later in the morning.
Got there later. They didn't show up until 10 and then work till 6. And
Right.
it's like that guy's
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the epitome of smart.
I
hard it is for me to
woke
get up. You think I want to get up at 5:30 every morning
No.
and be at work by 7? You think that's what I want to do?
I woke up, I worked out, and was at work by 6 or whatever, and
Same.
4 hours of productivity before they ever showed up.
But they show up at 11, but they're there till 6. Well, you weren't around. I was looking for you. And that's my fault?
Yeah.
This is a great conversation.
Pound sand, Janet. Anyways.
Whatever. So enough with bitching about that. So back to deer season's coming up. We're getting ready to prep
season is coming up. We're prepping for it in Kentucky. I just paid my deposit for our club where we have access to stuff.
We're recording on May 10th, but 5 days from now, before the next episode. So by the time this episode comes out, we will be 3 months.
3 months, man,
from deer season.
That's wild.
Isn't that insane? It's already here. Where the freak did this year go? It's already May, middle of May. It's nuts. And how prepared are we at our own club that we're both?
We are as prepared as we were last year, which is
3 years.
Not very.
We say every year we're going to go out there in the spring and get it done before it gets hot.
Then
and we never do it.
Let's freaking.
This is the last week. Next week it's 87, and you know what that means.
Well, then let's make a plan when you get back from Florida to go out and get it done and do some filming as well.
Okay, I'm down.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I'm going to bow hunt. I think exclusively this year.
Make it happen. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm going to rifle hunt on the bow side.
Grocery shop. You hear that, fellas?
I think I am going to do more public land because I do need to grocery shop.
I am a lot closer to Francis Marion than I have been ever before. So very good chance I do the same.
Also, this meat shortage, if it gets worse.
Not if you know what to do. And not
if it gets worse than it is right now,
yeah.
I may not give a shit what season it is anymore.
Well, I'm not
going to not eat when there's animals out there that need to be eaten.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I was having this conversation with Jessica and about like what do you do if you just got to take care of business, right? You just handle business. Take that for what it is.
Yeah.
But was talking with a friend of ours who's an avid fisherman, and he showed me some pictures of a couple weeks ago and the number of mahi that he caught right now.
Same.
Bro. He was like, you want to go? Just let me know. I'll take you out, and whatever we catch, cheers.
We have a friend. His name's Austin, and he's a fishing charter. I don't know if he's a captain or I think he might be a captain by now, but he works at a private establishment that only allows returning guests. Very uppity. Yeah. But every time he posts pictures, it's like their dock is full of mahi, and so I told him, I was like, when can we go? When's slow? Yeah. When you're not going to have anybody going. And I think he said June. He's got some spots open. So that's one thing I actually wanted to mention to you is if you wanted to go. Yeah. I'm not interested in tuna because it doesn't store well, but things that we can kill and store.
Yeah, I want to be able to put
stuff to the freezer. I don't care what we kill.
Right.
I'm just tired of this meat thing. It's pissing me off.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. I want to rack it up. Like he showed me a picture of a day that he went and he got I think it was 12 mahi, or whatever it was, as well as a bunch of other stuff, sea bass and some other stuff. I'm trying to pack my freezer. I'm trying to get an excuse to buy another freezer.
I'm trying to be the next Matt Livingston.
Yeah, Matt. I know how much you listen to this podcast.
He's got it. Does he?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't think he listens to podcasts.
We have a lot of friends and family that listen to our podcast and support us.
I know that we do, but I didn't think he did. I figured he didn't listen to
that was
any
sarcasm.
Podcast. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say. I don't think my family doesn't listen.
It's okay.
I mean, I don't care.
I don't either.
I don't care.
I kind of do, listens. But I don't.
I don't care if anyone listens. There are people that listen, and they reach out to me all the time and tell me they listen. I'm fine with that.
Well, good. Thanks for listening.
Our numbers are.
We appreciate anybody's support.
For sure.
Don't take grouchiness.
Just imagine your family doesn't support you, your close friends don't support you, and you're like, all right, well, appreciate it. But then also maybe they knew who we are outside of this, and they're like, that's not him.
Well,
because I'm definitely way too. If I ever say anything that offends you on here, I am tuned way down. I am street legal on this podcast.
Yeah, you should hang out with him for 20 minutes on a Saturday.
You're gonna,
And if you're offended on this podcast, you're not. Just keep the car running because you're not going to stay
and
long.
it's not that I'm trying to offend you. I speak truth and reality, and I call things like I see it. And a lot of people
True that.
don't like that. So
Yeah.
I don't want this. It's not. It's like a litmus test for who I want to hang out with. I hang out with you one night and you never call me again. Problem solved. I don't got to worry about it.
We figured it out.
You know, I told my wife the other day. I was like, it's not when people talk about they're offended. Did you know that the only person in the world, when you're offended, the only person in control of being offended
Is you.
is the person that was offended.
Yeah.
So if you're offended by something someone said, that means you decided that you were bothered by something someone else said.
Yeah.
And that's the way I live my life.
Good for you, man.
If you don't like the things I have to, it's like if you're a Ford guy and all I do is talk about Chevrolets,
Cheers to that.
you'll be offended and you won't listen to me anymore because all I talk about is Fords. Well, I hate Fords, even though I drive one. I'm a Chevrolet guy, which proves the point that even though I'm a Chevrolet guy, there are Fords out there that I would drive.
Right.
So if I have an opinion that bothers you, that is you that is bothered.
It's your problem.
I think we should stop before we
Before we go any further.
before we get wound up around the axle.
Yeah.
I like doing this now when we close out.
All right. Good chat. I'm doing this when we close out from now on. Bye.
Bye.